Welcome back, subscribers, to Apple Stump Bushcraft Stuff and Things. This is part 2 of my in memoriam review of Paul Phillips' 24-hour British ration pack that he sent me a week or two prior to his untimely passing. So today we're doing the lunch menu. Pauly didn't specify exactly which ingredients go with lunch, but I kind of threw some things together that seemed lunch-like to me. So, first of all, one of Pauly's favorites, tomato pasta salad, 300 grams, and the best before date is February of 2018, so it should still be good. On another note, I'm going to toss this into the freezer for a few minutes because I prefer to have pasta salads cold. Over here we have an artificial grapefruit drink, artificially flavored. Mix it with 500 mils of cold water, and it also has a best by date of February 2018. Some V6 chewing gum. Cereal bar, apple cinnamon flavored. Have some peanut butter. Some biscuits browns left over from breakfast. A squidge, hazelnut, and chocolate spread. Thai food tea. And sugar and non-dairy whitener. Of course, we have the British MRE spork to stir things with. Alright, while the pasta salad is getting cold, let's brew the tea. So I have some hot water ready. Special guest sealed pouch opener is this Kershaw Chill folding knife. Nice tea bag with a tag on it. So pop it in there. Some hot water. And this time I think I'll let it steep completely before I add the creamer and the sugar. And our second drink for the day is going to be the grapefruit mix. So we'll zip that open. If you look inside, it looks kind of white. It doesn't contain natural flavors, so that's good for me because I don't particularly care for it anyway, but in honor of Pauly and his generosity in sending this to me, I'm going to try it out. So it said mix it with 8 ounces of water, or 500 milliliters, which is more than 8 ounces. This is a 16-ounce bottle, cold water, and that's probably a 12-ounce glass. I'm not going to fill it all the way up to the top. And we'll use the MRE spork, British style, stir that up. Let's see how the tea is doing. It's getting pretty dark in there. I think what I'm going to do is switch places with this and this. Put those there. And let's unload the remainder of the biscuit browns. I don't think we'll be having any of those for dinner. I saved the bigger pieces for this particular episode. Well, there they are. So on reflection, the last time we had these biscuit browns, which was the breakfast entrees, I thought about it and what do they taste like, and they taste like unsweetened graham crackers. That's the closest I can come to the actual flavor, unsweetened graham crackers. So they're pretty good, and we'll be using some of the squidge on those, and also some of the peanut butter. So I think the tea has steeped long enough. It's pretty dark color in there. So what we'll do is put that on there. Squeeze out the last little bit out of that bag. And some sugar. And non-dairy creamer, or Paul used to call this whitener. Nice and powdery. And that feels like the sugar granules are all dissolved, which is nice. Alright. There we go. Cheers. That is hotter than a firecracker. So we're still waiting for the main course pasta salad with tomato sauce to get cold, and so let's put a little squidge on this cracker down the hatch. Yep, I think my assessment of that flavor was pretty close. It's like a unsweetened graham cracker. Have a little swig of the grapefruit flavored drink. Smells like grapefruit, which to me reminds me of brake fluid for some reason, but here we go. Surprisingly not too sour. The package said it was artificial, so I'll take their word for it. Now let's open up the MRE peanut butter, as Pauly would say. As you know, I like to put cut a little pouring spout out of the corner of these things. So that's what I just did. Except I didn't squish this very much. It feels pretty good already. I don't think it's separated very much, but I'll squish it around a little bit. Mix the oil and the peanut butter together thoroughly. Alright, let's call that good, and here we go. I may not have cut that notch deep enough because it's not coming out, so let's take another little corner out of it. See if I did it enough that time. Nope. My goodness. Alright. I'm through dinking around with it. Peanut butter all over my fingers already. Okay. And those of you who have watched Pauly's channel for a long time know exactly what I'm doing here. He was a little bit better at it most times than I was. I am, rather. Memorial Peanut Buddy. Here we go. That's an interesting flavor for peanut butter. It's a little bit different than American MRE peanut butter. It is peanut butter though, no question about that. A little swig of tea with that. Not quite sure what it is about the peanut butter that's different. I think it tastes a little bit more like freshly made peanut butter, like some warehouse style stores that you can go to have a place where you can put fresh roasted peanuts into a machine and peanut butter comes out the end of it, and that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's called squeeze peanut butter. Have another sample here. So there's a pretty healthy dab of it. To your health. Again, the crackers are good. They're pretty dry, but they're not salty, so I wouldn't necessarily say they're thirst-provoking, but it helps to have some kind of a drink handy. The tea is a black tea. Not the same as the English breakfast tea we had last time. A little bit more stout. And even with the sugar and creamer in it, the black tea flavor is fairly strong. But still good, still flavorful, and with the cream and sugar, it's manageable for me. I don't drink a lot of tea, but this is fine. Moving right along, we have a cereal bar. Orif, O-R-I-F is the manufacturer. Apple cinnamon is the variety. I can't find a Best By date on there. I would imagine that since it came with the other ingredients that the Best By date is 2018. Yeah. So that's pretty much what Pauly has showed on his videos in the past. And it looks pretty good. Cereal bar. It's fairly flexible. It's not dry like a Nature Valley bar is. Came apart rather easily. Let's give that a go, shall we? Here we go. Quite a bit of apple flavor in there. And rolled oats, I believe. Probably some rice, puffed rice. But anyway, I'll give you a picture of the other side there. There we go. Retrieved that from the freezer just now. It feels cold but not frozen. So we're going to open that up. And see if I can squeeze it out onto the tray. Oh, here it comes. Looks like the pasta is macaroni. There's a fairly good sized portion of that there, enough to feed a couple of people. Let's break it up a little bit. I'm going to move this glass out of the way so you can see better. Check that out. That is a full, big compartment on this tray. I can smell it already. It smells good. Looks like it would have been good hot or cold. I know Pauly was kind of a fan of eating these cold, whereas the dinner type entrees that featured pasta he would usually heat up. So let's give this a go. A spoonful there. Yeah, it looks like elbow macaroni. And down the hatch. The basil flavor is quite strong in there. No question that that's one of the main ingredients, or at least one of the main flavoring ingredients. I think that this would have been better to my taste heated up than cold. Here in the States, when we think of macaroni salads or pasta salads, we kind of think of different things other than a spaghetti-like mixture, which is what this is close to. I don't think there's any meat in it, but it is spaghetti-like in the flavor, and I think it would have been better hot. Have another spoonful. Now that got really cold, it's almost frozen. I only left it in the freezer about 15 minutes, but that was enough. So I think just for fun I'm going to put this all into a little bowl and nuke it in the microwave, and we'll have a comparison how it tastes hot and cold. So stand by for that. So we're putting it in the bowl now. And I think it's going to be quite good heated up. The pasta salad is just finished heating up in the microwave, so we're going to let it cool and let the heat kind of disperse evenly throughout the ingredients, the contents of that bowl, and then we'll pull it out and put it on the tray. So in the meantime, we're going to try some more of this squidge hazelnut spread. And in thinking about this, we have a, for lack of a better word, a spread or a substance here in the States called Nutella. which may also be available overseas in other countries besides the US, but it's also a hazelnut and chocolate spread. I've never tried it, but I read the label, and that's what's in it. So here we go with the squidge. There's a nice picture of it down the hatch. To me that tastes kind of holiday-like, like that's something you'd have on holiday cookies or around Christmas time. And maybe that's just a subliminal suggestion by the label on the tube here, because guess what colors they are? White, green, red, Christmas colors, right? At least here in the States they are. Okay, I'm going to get that out of the microwave and we'll spread it out on the tray, see how it is hot. So there it is, all laid out on the tray, and it is smoking hot. I don't know if you can see steam coming off there or not. We'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, let's have a bite of it hot and see what goes. I have a feeling it's going to be more to my liking. The basil flavor there is very strong, and looking at it you can see the green flakes of basil all over the place, all over the macaroni and in the sauce. So it's in there. You might even be able to see some on that spoon, maybe. Yep, okay. Yes indeed. That's more like what I would expect from a pasta and tomato sauce ration. Heated up, it tastes a lot like what we make here in the States around macaroni, some kind of spaghetti or marinara sauce anyway. It's quite good. I can completely understand why Pauly liked it. Some more tea with that. Tea's cooled down now to a more drinkable temperature. It's not awfully bitter. Some black teas to my taste have been, but this Thai food tea is not awfully bitter. It's just a strong tea. I would drink it again, and I'm going to. A little bit more peanut butter. There we go. The grapefruit drink is quite sweet, tart at the same time, and I can't get over how much it smells like brake fluid. And maybe that's just how grapefruits smell. Let's have another bite of the apple cinnamon breakfast bar. It's quite chewy. I actually prefer the texture more than I would Nature Valley granola bars, for example. Those are good. Nothing against them whatsoever, but I prefer chewiness rather than extra crunchy. Just my taste in cereal bars, I guess. Some more of the pasta, as Pauly would say, pasta. There's a big old heaping spoonful. Quite good. The elbow macaroni are soft. I think they're a little bit past the al dente stage of macaroni or pasta in general, but they're still quite good. They have a good texture. They're not terribly mushy. They don't just come apart without any effort to chew them or anything. And I just can't get over how strong the basil flavor is in this. There's also oregano in there, I'm sure, and there looks like there's some like stewed tomato pieces in there. Altogether, it's pretty darn good. Okay, I'm gonna have some more of this hazelnut chocolate spread on a piece of biscuit. There we go. Some more of that. I still don't know why Ameriquel or any of the other packers of United States military MREs don't put stuff in tubes like this. It defies explanation. They put everything in packets like this, and once you have used some of it, it's awfully messy and a lot of trouble to try to save some for later. But with a screw on top, toothpaste style tube like this, no problem whatsoever. Another bite of the pasta. I'm going to split this up. Oh, it came into 3 pieces. That's even better, I guess. A little more peanut butter here. I have to tell you, this is a lot to eat for a lunch. It'd be perfect for camping to have that box with 3 full meals in it. Wait till you see what's coming for dinner. Alright, well, I'm going to take my time with the rest of this and clean up my dishes and so forth and get ready for the next one. So if you're just joining us or you missed the first part of it, this has been a review of the lunch components of a 24-hour ration pack put together by the late Paul Phillips, a friend of ours who we'll miss greatly. Passed away on August 29th in Lincolnshire, England. So one last swig of grapefruit drink. Here's to you, Pauly. We'll see you next time for part 3 of the review of Paul Phillips' British box. Until then, Apple Stump Bushcraft Stuff and Things wishing you a pleasant week. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Adios.